Made it down to the lake's edge at Ganga Ghat, and it is so beautiful. I can see why this is considered one of the most romantic cities in India. It's kind of like a little Venice.
We catch another great train ride to the beautiful lake city of Udaipur. We loved exploring the palace that dominates what has to be called the most romantic city in India, but we found lots of other things to do in this unique spot.
We're getting back on the train and we're heading to Udaipur.
16:25 पर प्लेटफॉर्म नंबर 1 पर पहुंचने की संभावना है।
Today we are in Udaipur.
It's the city of lakes here in India, and we're going to find the city palace.
We found what feels like a giant gardens between ourselves and the palace. So cutting through them to get there is much more peaceful than walking on the roads. Slight problem.
Two slight problems.
Two slight problems. We got to the end of the park and that big gate's locked. Second problem,
It started hosing down.
It's hosing. Oh man.
Stuck in the park in the rain.
The good news is the rain has now stopped. The not so good news is we've walked about 3/4 of the way back to where we entered the park to leave the park. Grabbed our tickets to the City Palace and the City Palace Museum, a total of 330 per person.
Behind me is Lake Piccola, the central lake here in Udaipur.
So this is the boathouse. So while you're visiting City Palace, you can pay some extra money and take a boat ride out on the lake. I think it's about 500 rupees per person.
I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back.
The building commenced on the City Palace in 1599. It took over 400 years to complete and they just kept adding more and more and more. As it stands, the front facade is 250 metres long and 30 metres high. It is very impressive.
This thing is huge. We are definitely looking forward to having a look around inside. The gardens are really nice. It's a very popular tourist attraction.
Garden inside the palace. It is really peaceful.
Baby, you'll make up your mind now. I'm here by your side. I'm here. Let it all out of me. Let it all out of me. Oh, I will hold you in the dark.
say for 300 rupees, a visit to this palace was really, really good value.
It's excellent. It's a real maze, but you can navigate your way around thanks to heaps of great signage. There's a bit of information everywhere you go, and some of the glass work and marble work is really nice.
And the painting detail throughout is just unreal. You have to look really closely to figure out if it's a painting or a photo or whatever it is. It's just far more detail than any other palace we have seen.
India gained its independence in 1947. Now the states in Rajasthan were actually not part of the initial government of India, and it was 2 years later in 1949 that the various Maharajas ceded control of Rajasthan to the Indian government.
And when that happened, all of the royalty had to give up their titles and their entitlement, but they got to keep this palace.
Overall, it's stunning. Sits right on the edge of Lake Piccola, offers great views from all the apartments in the top. We've had a great explore. That was cool.
The least scariest tiger ever. Look at all these lame legs and stuff. Stumbled upon a fruit and veg market. It looks awesome. We are wandering all the back streets and bazaars of Udaipur. You could spend hours in here. There's so much going on now, crazy busy, but everyone is really friendly.
It's early evening here in Udaipur, and I am heading in to the Lal Ghat area, one of the main sort of tourist and shopping areas in old Udaipur. That is the Jagdish temple here in the heart of Udaipur. I'm going to go up and have a look. Quite the climb. Yeah?
This is my house, I'm living here.
Really? So there's a steep flight of stairs to get up to the Jagdish temple. It was built in 1659 by Maharana Singh, and there's an awesome black statue of Vishnu inside if you're going to have a look. If you're not, the outside's super intricate, really cool. I'm just heading down from the temple towards the lake's edge. Yeah, there's a lot of touristy stuff around here, but you get a feeling that a lot of it is still for domestic tourists, although they are quite pushy. So I've made it down to the lake's edge at Ganga Ghat, and it is so beautiful. I can see why this is considered one of the most romantic cities in India. It's kind of like a little Venice. This is clearly a very popular spot to come for sunset. The lights on all the valleys and the palaces are starting to come on. It's looking really nice. For now, I'm really enjoying this evening.
Today is our last day in Udaipur. Unfortunately, we haven't seen as much as we wanted here, as we both had a pretty bad case of Delhi belly.
Ooh, yes, it's been an unpleasant few days, but we are coming right.
After 2 years of travel, it is the first time it has happened to us, so we really can't complain, but it has put a slight downer on the last few days.
No chili. No chili. Pretty good street food staple, this. I mean, it's street food, but it's not junk food. Little sandwiches out with this stuff.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love bread omelettes. They're the best, and they should be gentle on the stomach, hopefully. Udaipur are really beautiful. There's all these beautiful old buildings, there's temples everywhere, amazing little shops, super friendly people. You can definitely wander around this town for hours and hours.
We are going on a boat ride. 300 rupees for a 30-minute tour around Lake Bikol.
While no one else can take me there. It's the birth of a moment, tremble and show something that keeps me going. Everlasting glow. Some things come easy, some things slip out of your hand when you're down at the bottom. You need help to stand.
That was a cool little boat ride, well worth the 300 rupees. Don't go to the one at the palace and pay twice as much, come down here. Next stop is the Haveli Museum. Sure.
We are in Bagor Ki Haveli. This is a mansion built right on the edge of Lake Piccolo next to Gangaur Gut and the palace. It was built in the mid-1700s by the then Prime Minister of this province of Rajasthan.
I'm searching to find when I'm lost among strangers. But God, only you on my mind, on my mind.
I don't know why, but this many puppets sort of freaks me out a little bit. We're inside the Queen's apartment and it's really nice. Although I like these. All the apartments you go through, you see these, and basically a string is attached to it, and at the other end of the door there'll be a servant standing there continually pulling the swing, an old school fan.
This is the games room. There's loads of weird board games. I see like an ancient snakes and ladders. Bagor Ki Haveli is really worth a look. There was a 5-year restoration project on this amazing mansion. It's a real complex. They've restored some rooms, left some in their original state. There's quite a detailed little museum. It's neat.
Guide me home. Some things come easy, some things slip out of your hand when you're down at the bottom. And you need
25 rupee traditional kulfi. Really nice.
I'm searching to find when I'm
Found
lost
it.
among strangers.
And that's it for Udaipur. It is a beautiful city. In 1860 it was called the most romantic city in India, and we can see why. Now it's on to our next destination in India. This cow senses an affinity with me as a New Zealander. Ow, ow! Your tongue's too scratchy. Are you chasing me around? You're chasing me around. There you go.